Big news, Claude Opus 4.5 is out. I'm using it. I did a little bit of a test. This is by far for front end the best I've ever ended up with a Claude model. It's insane. I'm loving it. It just feels like it's gonna do things the right way. What we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna try to build a full business using Claude 4.5 Opus, see how it does, see where it falls behind, see where it's good, and we'll see. So as always, I'm starting out here with my Vercel Next.js boilerplate. I love starting with this. If you've never vibe coded anything before and you want to learn how, by the way, link in the description. We have a whole it's like a course, but it's completely free and open. You don't even need to log in. So anyways, so let's go ahead and call this Opus test 2. Go ahead and start that up. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to create a folder on my computer where I'm going to hold all of that code. You can see I have Opus test 1. Again, few prompts. It blew me away. Let's go ahead and see what it's going to do here. So Opus test 2. There we go. And then I'm going to start a new terminal there. I saw someone tweeting the other day, yo, why do people use Ghosty? What's so good about Ghosty? And as a Ghosty user, I don't know. I just use it. It just, I don't know. It works. Is it better than the normal terminal? Probably not, but whatever. Works for me, so I'm just going to stick to it. What we're going to do over here, I'm going to try to open up Claude, but it might give me Sonnet, right? Okay, Opus. Beautiful. We got Opus right off the bat. There is a way that you can actually, if it says Sonnet, you can get Opus. So, okay, now the MemberStack MCP thing open. I'm going to use this to do my auth, my payments and all of that. So I'm actually going to click cancel on this because I got to make a whole new MemberStack app. So we're over here. I'm going to create a new app. And again, I'm just going to give it the same name. So Opus test 2. We'll do other over there. And then I'm actually going to do /MCP. MemberStack failed because, well, I didn't authenticate it. So I'm going to restart it. It's going to pop this open. And then I'm going to find my Opus test 2 that I just created and click continue. Now we have the MemberStack MCP hooked up. We have Claude open with Opus. What we don't have is our project in the folder. So also, it's taking a second. I'm not quite sure what it's doing. Get back to you in a sec once this is working.
12 seconds later.
All right, it is working. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pop open this GitHub repo, and I am just going to copy the URL. I'm going to paste it in here, and I'm going to let Claude know, hey, I made this project from a boilerplate. Can you bring the code in locally so that we can develop? All right, there we go. So it says it is good. The next thing that we're going to do is in a new terminal tab, I'm going to do npm install. And then after that, I am going to do npm run dev to start the dev server, and it is up and running. We can see this little boilerplate. Wonderful news. Everything is working as it should be working. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to install Tailwind v4 and shadcn. Now, this is something that was Sonnet 4.5. It is horrible every single time. I don't know why. It doesn't get the configuration right. It's confused. From my testing of Opus, it one-shotted it perfectly. So hopefully it does the same thing here. All right, so it has now done that, and I've decided what I want to build. What I want to build is a to-do list app. Yay, so fun, to-do list app. We all need another to-do list app. The point of this is not to build a business that's going to profit. The point of this is to test out the model, and to-do list app is something that I, as well as I think a whole bunch of other people, have built a bunch of different times. So I find it a really, really great thing to use to actually directly compare the model. Because right now, if I give it some super simple business, well, obviously it's going to do it easy. If I give it some super difficult one, it's not, and it's not a good point for testing. What is a good point for testing is something I've done a bazillion times before. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to let it know is, let's say, make me a homepage for my to-do list app. That's what we want right now. And I'm really interested to see how it is at front end and design. So let's go ahead and ask it now to build me a homepage for my to-do list app called Today. There we go. Beautiful name I just came up with there. All right, so this is what it created, and unfortunately, similar problem here to what I usually have with 4.5 Sonnet, which is it didn't properly initialize Tailwind. I don't know exactly what it didn't do. Maybe it didn't add a config file or something like that, but it just looks like plain HTML. The page is short. That's fine. I'm really interested to see visually how it looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a screenshot of this and send it. And we're also going to be able to see how well it's able to look at pictures. So let's go ahead and see if it can fix this. Okay, so it says in Tailwind v4, the container class needs to be explicitly configured in the theme. And yeah, okay, so it fixed it. And this looks great. I mean, look, Does it look basic? Yes, but I told it to use Shad CN with the New York theme, so that is why it looks like this. Visually, it's great. It's consistent. All is good. It's kind of a boring page, you know, nothing too crazy. Whatever. We'll get more into the UI side of things in just a little bit. You know what? Actually, I'm going to ask it to change the theme now. So I'm going to ask it to I'm going to say this looks kind of boring. Can you make it nice and animated and give it its own color scheme and all that fun stuff? It's a very basic prompt, and that is intentional. I want to see what it can do with that basic information. All right, so I did a prompt that every terrible client would ask a designer. Can you make it feel more dynamic? Wow, that's very descriptive. So anyways, let's see if this makes it feel more dynamic, whatever that means. I've had clients say that to me before, and now look at me saying it to Claude. All right, so it's mid-prompt, and it added this new theme. It's using this blue. I'm a big fan of this color scheme. It's kind of like standard SaaS appearance, but it looks really nice, so I'm happy with that. Now it says it's going to update the homepage with animations and a more dynamic design. I love how it's using my stupid vernacular there. So yeah. All right, there we go. So this is what we're left with. We're left with this hero section. It's got a blue and purple gradient. Come on. We shouldn't be, it should just be added into the system prompt of AI. Like, no blue purple gradients, please. Honestly, it actually looks kind of nice. I don't know what I'm complaining about, but we got this here, this animated little to-do list section. It's very nice, actually. Then we have this section here with nice little hover effects. We have this stat section, which looked ugly on the first prompt, but I asked it to make it look nicer, and it's better, I suppose. So not bad, not bad, not Gemini 3 level for front end. I will say that right off the bat, but my hope is more or less that it's better at other things. So what I'm going to ask it to do now is I'm going to ask it to make the auth pages using Shad CN, and I'm going to ask it as well to set it up to work with MemberStack. So I'm actually going to go into my MemberStack dashboard. I'm going to go to my dev tools over here. I'm going to make sure test mode is on, and I'm going to get my public key. So I'm just going to let it know now, this is my MemberStack public key. Use the MemberStack MCP to figure out how to make it work, and then build my auth pages with Shad CN, and we'll see what it does. Alrighty guys, so it made something. Let's go ahead and check it out. First things first, if we click start for free, we got this auth page, this sign up page, and this looks phenomenal. Really good, honestly. The color scheme feels very AI to me. Honestly, at the end of this, I'm going to tell it change the blue. Don't use these gradients. I want it to look a little bit more not like it was made by AI. That being said, I am actually very impressed with the visual prowess of 4.5 Opus. It's been really good. Can I log into an account? Can I create an account? Let's go ahead and find out. So as always, julian@me.com on the scene. And if I click on create account, okay, so it took me right here. It doesn't show an email or a member ID. It does show this little dashboard thing. Let's go ahead and check in MemberStack if it created one. Okay, so it did indeed create a member. I'm interested in why I can't see an email or member ID, but the authentication is working perfectly. So what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to exit Claude Code, and I'm going to run Claude once more because I don't want to clog up the context. So now we're good. We're here. We're in a clean slate with Claude, and I'm just going to let it know, hey, use the MemberStack MCP to create a data table structure for my to-do list and also make a to-do list work. I'm just going to say keep it simple for now. We can add more features later. Always remember, guys, simple first, powerful later. That's what we always say. All right, I'm going to write my prompt now. Bye. All right, so it did it. It took a long time. Like you can see here, I just started this Claude window with this prompt, and it says context left till auto compact 12%. So it ripped. Hopefully it works. Let's go ahead and find out. So I'm going to say take out the garbage and due date. Let's go ahead. This is a very nice date picker. Everything it did very well, I will say. So add task. Boom, we have take out the garbage over here. Okay, yeah, it's overdue because I set the due date to be the past. Let's go ahead and check out our MemberStack dashboard and see if everything looks good. So we have to-dos. You can see we have one record. It is not completed. Excellent. Okay, so it looks like it did everything perfectly. It's got a nice little hover effect. As you can see here, I can edit or delete it. I can add a new task. Go ahead and mark this as complete. Very nice. Very, very nice, actually. And it works perfectly. They added animations right off the bat. It's super smooth. I am extremely happy with this output. Honestly, I don't think I could be happier. So Gemini came out. Gemini is super cool. It's like, kind of shiny object syndrome. It felt really cool. I like it. And for front end, it honestly is phenomenal. But mostly just because I love Claude Code. Like I tried using Cursor yesterday. I'm like, I need to be using Gemini 3 more. So I went back to Cursor, signed up for a subscription, and oh, it was so slow. I couldn't. I canceled my subscription instantly. Back with Claude Code because it just gets me. And Opus is a massive upgrade. So there's one more thing that I want to do. I want to be like, honestly, this blue and purple theme is kind of like AI-ish. Can we like instead use, some more funky fonts and like orange as our primary color? I'm going to say that. Let's go ahead and see what it does. We're going to check out our app again. We're going to check out our homepage again. And then I think we're all good. So let's go ahead and try it out. Alrighty, so this is what we ended up with right here. It's a nice orange. I much prefer this. Maybe it's just because I'm yet less used to seeing it, but I don't know. It looks pretty nice to me. Go over here to the dashboard. It works. It's all animated. I'm going to go ahead and add something else in. Add task. Beautifully animated. This one has no due date here. I can go ahead and mark it as complete. Moves over into the done one. Very happy with Opus. So yeah, I would say my final thoughts are that it just works really well. It feels really smart. It doesn't feel like something where I'm just like, whoa, going crazy over. Sonnet, it feels like Sonnet 4.5, just not as stupid. And Sonnet 4.5 was by no means stupid. So I'm really happy with Opus. I mean, this is what I'm going to be using now every single day to build everything that I build. So I'm super hyped. It did a great job. If you get a chance to try it out today, go ahead and try it out. I think you're going to love it too. It's really hard to explain, but it does just feel like it gets you. So that's all for this video. I'm super happy with this. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.